pretty much seemed to me that Dave Filoni with episode 6 and 7 of The Bad Batch Season 3 just announced a new series, a new animated series featuring, of course, our beloved clones Rex, Wolf, and Gregor. Now, hear me out, because there's a lot of signs pointing out exactly what I'm saying. This is not just hocus pocus, my friend. This could really could come out to be true, because the signs were there, and we're gonna prove it in today's video. We're gonna go through each and every step, and also outside of these two episodes, there's the actress of Asajj Ventress and what she said on Planet Comic-Con that made the rounds. She said something about Asajj Ventress that is gonna blow your mind, and essentially tells you that things are about to ramp up in the animated department. Not only with Bad Batch and Tales of the Jedi, there's a lot more coming that we previously anticipated. So did you notice that episode 7 yesterday ended with a Rebels reunion? Yes, it was Rex, Wolf, and Gregor. Many did not catch Gregor, but he was behind Rex when Wolf ultimately let him go during their standoff. So all three of them were at the same place at the same time. This is a clear sign of what's to come, because we all know how the three of them will end up in Star Wars Rebels. But I'm gonna do you one even better, to get you convinced, to get you on board that there is another Clone Wars Z type of animation style series coming in the near future. I don't know what's going to be called, but I know that it's going to feature these three clones, the adventures of Rex, Wolf, and Gregor as they try to navigate through the Empire and try to save/recruit clones. Let's go immediately and talk about what Nika Futterman said. In a tweet post by Drunk Wookie, the user went on to say, "I met with Nika Futterman, Asajj Ventress' voice actress, at Planet Comic-Con over the weekend. When asked about Asajj in The Bad Batch, she said, 'It's all very exciting, but The Bad Batch is just an appetizer for what's to come.'" Now, this tweet was made a couple of days ago, meaning just this weekend. The actress said not only is Asajj Ventress going to be making her return in The Bad Batch, as we see in the trailer, she is even wielding a yellow orangey lightsaber, but what's even crazier is that this is only the appetizer, meaning we're going to see Asajj Ventress during this Imperial time a lot more than we've anticipated. Now, we know that Asajj Ventress has never made her live-action debut, so Asajj Ventress being more prominent in Star Wars content probably does not mean in a live-action series. It means in this form, in the animated version, which means that there's going to be another animated show after The Bad Batch, a serial one, not like Tales of the Jedi, because Tales of the Jedi are mostly one-off stories that show us a more in-depth for some relevant character here and there. Not saying that there isn't a Asajj Ventress episode in the near future in the Tales of the Jedi, but she said that this is just an appetizer for what's to come, meaning that even if she appears in Tales of the Jedi, it still doesn't give us the full story of Asajj Ventress, meaning that we might not only see Asajj. Do you realize that we might also get Quinlan Vos in animated version? He appeared in the Clone Wars series, so he might reappear again during Imperial times. In canon, we still don't know what has happened to Quinlan Vos. As you can see, even in canon, there are many Jedi survivors that went off to escape the Empire after Order 66 and went into hiding. This clearly means that something is brewing inside the Star Wars animated division, especially headed by Dave Filoni. He is now the expert leading up to The Bad Batch. He was in charge together with George Lucas during the Clone Wars era. He directed Star Wars Rebels and wrote for that series, so he knows exactly how Gregor, Rex, and Wolf ended up where they ended up. While Rex may be helping rogue clones and mustering his brothers to fight against the Empire, we know how essentially the story is going to end. It's going to end in a sad, dire note, but who's to say there aren't great adventures in the midst? Again, it would just be the most insane scene ever, the biggest drama you've ever seen in Star Wars if Rex confronts Darth Vader. If the two of them end up against one another and Darth Vader refuses to fight Rex, knowing fully well who he really is, and maybe even revealing somehow the identity of his true self, that he is in fact his old General Skywalker. Again, in canon, there's a lot of things that haven't happened yet, yet. There's a lot of material to be shuffled through. We know that Rex never actually found out what happened to General Skywalker. He probably thinks that he died during Order 66. He was killed as a Jedi inside the Jedi Temple, and that's it. So this new series would probably focus on the trio. Dave Filoni, having been familiar not only during the Clone Wars but in Star Wars Rebels as well, would create a new version of a series during Rex's fight in the Dark Times, during the Empire. You can see that he has work cut up for him already during the Bad Batch series. What gave me extreme hope during this whole time, during episode 6 and 7, was actually me realizing that it's time for the Bad Batch series to close out. There's a lot of things that I could say about Omega and the Bad Batch, but I think that everything that was supposed to be told has been told already. We just need closure with the Bad Batch and with Omega, and to see where they head off, or do they head off at all. Will they maybe get killed off in the season finale? Who knows? It might have a completely dark turn. But what I am excited is the return of these clones. You saw that in 6 and 7, Wolf, Rex dominated these episodes, and it was for the better, honestly. I saw it as a great turning point where the fans were convinced that if we get a new series by Dave Filoni starring Rex, Wolf, and Gregor, and a whole myriad of other clones that have escaped the Empire and are now fighting, basically laying the grounding foundation for the future rebellion, for the future Rebel Alliance, then that would be just phenomenal. Dave Filoni is already in charge of all of this. He would be a natural to continue a new series with these clones. And I know what you're going to say, well, Wolf is not yet turned. Well, you saw clear hopes of Wolf slowly getting turned in episode 7. First of all, he immediately, when he learns that clones have been involved in the scuffle, he says these are not insurgents, these are clones. In fact, Wolf had thought that most of the people he knew, Rex, Cody, and all of these, had died during Order 66. And you see him during the episode, he's slowly turning against the Empire, even though he doesn't already know it. He doesn't call these guys insurgents, he calls them fellow clones. Then he goes on to confront Rex eye to eye, but he can't do it. Appealing to Wolf, Rex begs his brother to open his eyes and see the truth of the Empire's darkness and what's going on with his fellow brothers. All while Echo and Gregor arrive to provide a well-timed extraction at that point. While Wolf doesn't fully defect right then and there, he does allow all these guys to escape and to leave with Omega, who is extremely important, much more important than Rex. I think this wasn't the last time we're gonna see of Wolf in the Bad Batch Season 3. Future episode may see him actually leaving the Empire for good, especially when Hemlock and the others find out what Wolf actually did. What Wolf did in episode 7 by letting Rex and all the others go, he just bought himself a one-way ticket to Tantus. And once Wolf really finds out what the Empire is after and what they're doing on Tantus, you best believe if Crosshair was able to break his loyalty to the Empire after what happened on the Imperial base and what happened on Tantus, then Wolf is gonna do the same. I am sure of that. Nothing is really accidental with Dave Filoni, and I really think that these two episodes were a sneak preview of what's to come. A new clone series, a new clone animated series during the Imperial era. Even Asajj Ventress's voice actress said so herself, that we're going to see a lot more of Asajj Ventress, so perhaps she joins with Rex. Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments.